Football's about passion. It's a way of life. It gets you up on the morning. It's magnificent. It's fantastic. What a sport. What a sport. It's a way of life. It's a way of life.
Retro football is here. It's back. This is PES 2017 on the Xbox 360. So, yeah, I played a little bit of this earlier. Now, this wasn't a version I owned or played back in the day. I spent a lot of time with the PS4 version, which I imagine some of you guys watching this, you would have spent time with the PS4 version rather than this 360 or Xbox One version. But we all played the PS4 versions, or many of us did, because we had the option files on there. I don't know, or I don't think you could get them onto the Xbox One. But anyway, this is vanilla. There's no option file on here or anything like that. I don't know, or I don't think you can add an option file to the Xbox 360 version either. So, yeah, let's see how this plays, guys, because all of these menus are identical to the PS4 Xbox One version, and gameplay wise I'm assuming this will be on Fox Engine. Here are your stadiums, by the way. Look, it's the old Konami trick. We're going to put the San Siro in twice. We'll just rename it. And here are your other stadiums. I mean, it's severely lacking in content, this game. Severely. And severe is a severe word. It's a strong word to use, but it emphasises my point that content, this game lacks. It just lacks so much content. But on the field, this game is good, I must say. But let's go back to the Fox Engine thing. I'm assuming this game does use it because Fox Engine was a thing in the Xbox 360 version of PES 2014, wasn't it? Which was atrocious, that game. We all had a lot of high hopes for that game, or I did. And it turned out to be a bit of a dog turd. So here we go. Now I must say, guys, this plays more or less identical to the so-called next-gen versions at the time. Ooh. Identical. I'm struggling to see differences. Even graphically. Yes, the PS4 and Xbox One versions are better graphically, but not by much. The colour palettes on the newer versions, or rather on the... I'm going to just call it next-gen, even though it's not next-gen anymore. But in the next-gen versions, the colours are a bit more vibrant, a bit brighter. But that's about it. They look more or less the same as well. It's very strange. It kind of emphasises how poor Fox Engine era PES is, or was, on PS4. Because to have a game running on tech which was a lot older. I mean, the Xbox 360 arrived in, what, 2006? And to have games running on a PS4 looking more or less identical says it all. I will say in this, guys, the frame rate is abysmal at times. Whereas on PS4, it runs a solid 30 frames per second, I think it is. On this, I don't think it's even solid at 30. It's abysmal at times. You'll see when there's replays and stuff, it's really rough. I'm actually playing on the Xbox 360 natively, guys. I'm not emulating this. So I'm using the capture card that I purchased recently. And this plays a nice game of football. It's very, very watered down, though. I would even go as far as saying this version of PES is probably... You could call it not an arcade game. Let's shoot. Hey, it's not an arcade football game, far from it. It's got arcadey elements, though. It's very quick. I mean, you can slide you can slide the speed down in the settings to slow, or rather, there's like a little slider where you choose the speed. I think it's out of 4 levels. I just leave it at default for the benefit of this video, but if I was playing this for any serious amount of time, I'd slide it down to probably -1. But it's a good game. It's a good game, but slightly arcadey. I was not obsessed, that's the wrong word, but I was hooked on this game on PS4 around release. That's all I played. I loved it. What I do like about this game is how the CPU plays in sort of varied ways, depending on opposition. But in the end, I fell off, guys, because of the content, or rather the lack of it. A severe lack of content in this game. We'll get to Master League in a bit. We'll see if that is different. If there's any differences to this and Xbox One or PS4 versions. I don't think there's going to be. I think this is identical in every way. Oh! Some nice animations in this version of PES, I must say. There we go. That looks nice. The keeper's dive there to his left. Look at the frame rate though, guys. It gets hammered on the replays for some reason. It looks dreadful. And it's around now where Konami assumed everyone wanted simplistic feeling goals in regards to shooting. I don't like the shooting in this. I like the gameplay everywhere else on the field. Let's quit out of it. But I'm not that keen, like I say, on the shooting. Every shot is very straight, very laser guided. We use this terminology or phrasing on the channel a lot when it comes to PES footy games around now. Let's jump into Master League. But yeah, I find that the shooting's a little bit too straight. A bit, like I say, a bit laser guided missile. And regardless of player you're in control of, their shooting will look and feel the same. Yeah, it's a strange game for me, this one. Like, going back to it, it's not as good as I remember it being. Which kind of says it all. Whereas when I go back to PES 3, PES 4, PES 5, PES 6, they're still fantastic games. From a gameplay perspective, yeah, the content is lacking on them, but we can put up with that because they are games from 2003, 2004, 2005, etc. This is 2017 or 2016. This was released. Anyway, you know what I'm gonna do, guys? Let's give him a little moustache, just to show you guys what the customization mode is like in this, or the customization options, I should say. And it's, again, identical to the PS4 counterpart or the Xbox One. I mean, this all started, this character model stuff, in regards to creating your manager in PES 2013, didn't it? And they kind of just carried it over then to every PES afterwards. Except when we get to PES 2020, I think. And then you just choose a generic dude as your manager. Or Maradona, which was just weird. Anyway, I'm childish. I'm going to give him a David Seaman type ponytail, and I'm going to make it a silly colour, because why not? We could do what we want on Retro Football, guys. There's no rules. There's no rules here. And some spectacles, because, again, why not? Why not, indeed? But yeah, I used to spend more time editing this game than... Let's go club team lineup. Yeah, I used to spend more time editing this game on PS4 than actually playing it, I think. Yeah, there's no Division 2 with Holland or Netherlands. The Netherlands. Go for smokes and a pancakes. There you go. There's my terrible Dutch accent. Accent. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I turned into Steve McLaren. I'll stop. I'll quit whilst I'm behind here. Yeah, no Division 2 in Netherlands, but I have chose this because it's licensed. There's very, very limited options when it comes to the licensing in this game. It feels at times and looks like, and this is going to sound very, very harsh, But a video game that two mates of... He looks like he's been created in MS Paint. Yeah, it looks like a game, doesn't it? That's been created by two friends in their basement on a PC at times. I know that's incredibly harsh, but it just feels so cheap, this game. It looks cheap and nasty. But again, the gameplay is very good at times. It's a strange game. This 2019 to an extent, even though 2019 graphically did start to look a lot better, especially the pitch textures, they all kind of gel, mold into the same game. I don't like the Fox engine with PES, or I didn't like it. I don't think we received any very, very good Fox engine PES games. I don't think we did, guys, with hindsight. So all of this is exactly the same. Transfers in this version of PES are pathetic. It's just click on a player that you want and buy him. There's very little negotiating. I mean, it tells you... Let's see. Yeah, here we go. It tells you the chances of signing the player. Like, nothing's left to imagination, or rather, everything's very predictable. Everything's very sterile. It's just boring. And you can not play one of your squad players. You can leave him on the bench all season. Like, I could go out now and buy, I don't know, Messi. And I could leave him on the bench all season. I could not even put him in the squad, so not even on the bench, all season, and he will never complain about not playing. So I'm going to see if we can sign this guy. You watch, guys. It'll be like, yes, he's signed. And that used to irk me. There's no depth to the Master League in this version of PES. And I'm sounding like this is a terrible video game. It's not. It's actually my favourite game on the Fox engine. My favourite PES game on the Fox engine era. It's actually a very good game. But it's just good for playing exhibition matches, especially against friends. And that's that. I get bored playing this in Master League. Really bored. Like, very, very quickly. Here we go. Let's see what he says then, this player, or rather the club I'm buying him from. There we go. That's a yes. Accept terms. Done. There you go. That's your There's no fanfare. Sometimes you'll get a little cutscene, I think, where the player will walk in, if it's a big name player, with your manager. Sometimes I think that's PES 2017. You definitely do in the later PES games after this. But that's it, guys. Like I say, no fanfare, no negotiating, just very basic. Very, very basic. And I'm glad I've finally got to play the Xbox 360 version, because this showcases how poor, really, like from a technical standpoint at least, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One versions are. Because it's identical. It's crazy. Like, what was next gen about this Konami? The thing is with Konami, after PES 5, they lost their way when it come to the next gen technology or the next gen gaming, because PES 6 on Xbox 360 was very similar to this. Gameplay was decent, but very bare bones, no content. It didn't look next gen graphically, it was abysmal, really. And Konami just couldn't get to grips with next gen. Remember the hype for PS5? Like, before PS5 hit our shops or hit our homes in 2020, the build up to the new eFootball or new PES, which would have been PES 2022, everyone was hyped. I'm sure there was a bit of footage somewhere of like Messi, and this is what it's going to look like on Unreal Engine. Is it Unreal Engine PES 2022, or was that what was promised by Konami? But anyway, and then we got eFootball. It's like they've never, I'll reiterate the point, they've never got to grips with the technology after PS2, Konami. Anyway, let's play a bit of this Ajax against Pek Zwolle. Was Ten Hag managing this Ajax side? I think he was, you know. 2017, 2018 season. Was this when he joined Ajax? Oh, I don't know. I used to watch a lot of Dutch football when I was a kid. But these days, not at all. This commentary gets really, really repetitive as well, very quickly. I'd much rather possibilities, John Champion, than this dude. Is it Peter Brackley? And the dude's name, I always forget, his assistant, basically. I always forget his name. But he is just dour to listen to. I'm sure he's a nice chap. Disclaimer. I'm sure you're a nice fella. But not for me when it comes to the commentary. I've run out of play. We'll look at some player faces, guys, in a bit, if you're interested. Let's see. Because I can't download the data pack for this, or at least I don't think I have been able to, because Konami servers are off. I've got a lot of generic faces in this, and they're dreadful. Like, because you get so many players with the same face, it doesn't bother me. I don't care about faces, because you can't see them when you're playing. But yeah, it's a bit of an immersion breaker for some people, Cillessen claims. I remember playing the demo of this when it hit the PlayStation Store, years ago. And I was blown away. It just goes to show how much my tastes have changed and matured, maybe. Which sounds a bit pretentious to say. But I think it's because I play so much PS2 footy games now. Or PC, PS2 footy games with the patches. Like PES 6 original season is a good example. That going back to these, or playing these again, just... It shows you how good the formula was for the PlayStation 2 PES football games. That moreish, that one more match feeling. These PES games haven't got that for me. Of course, this is when Konami added celebrations. So you could press a button and do a celebration. But I get an empty feeling when I score a goal in this. I don't know why. The shooting for me, again, in the PS2 PES games, feels far more rewarding. I'm just coming across as a fanboy of the PES PS2 era. Maybe I am. Guys. But I just... It's a shame because in the middle of the pitch, this is really good. Like everywhere else, apart from in front of goal, this game's very good. I will say there's not a lot of fouls and stuff in this from when I was playing a friendly match before I started recording earlier. Like you can get hacked down by the CPU. There's loads of coming togethers. And the ref just play on. He very rarely stops play. I think that was done because of my club. People online wanted free-flowing, end-to-end, high scoreline kind of matches. But anyway, let's look at some faces. How do I stop this? It's just going crazy. What's happening? What's happening then? Right, okay. Player faces. Now, I'm not going to recognise any of these players because I'm not familiar with Pep Zwoll's squad in 2017. Okay. That is supposed to be... I don't know. I just don't know, guys. There's a Burger King advertisement board. That's impressive. I don't know why that's impressive. It just is. This is the American version, by the way, of PES 2017. Not the PAL version that I would have owned on PS4. Well, I do own on PS4. I've still got the game. I've still got the disc. There's Tay. I think I've butchered his name, but yeah, I remember that player. Doesn't he still play? Does he play in the Premier League? I don't know. Here's your manager's bench. Look at this. This is one thing I do like with the Fox Engine PES games, being able to just literally walk around the pitch. I don't know if you could do this on PS2 PES. I don't think you could, you know. But yeah, there's Cillessen. Is it Cillessen? He looks good. Jasper Cillessen. He looks really... I was going to say really good. He looks okay. But anyway, yeah, PES 2017 on the Xbox 360. Let me know if you guys have played it. It's okay. It plays a good game of football. There's a lot of stuff that needed to be added. It could have done with a lot of quality of life improvements for me. But it's a good football game. In general, it's a good football game, but just stick with the friendly matches, in my opinion. Especially if you've got a couple of mates round and play it that way. But yeah, look out for more content coming to the channel. I'll speak to you all soon.
Looks to slip it through. Defence has got rid of that. Oh, well defended. That had to be done. Oh, no, that's not the ball he wanted. I have to say, that was an exemplary tackle. Stopped him dead in his tracks.